Let's say hello to the pop superstar joining us live on Drive. That is Robbie Williams. Bobby, hello. How you doing?
Hey up, lads. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very well. Just tell us where you are and what you're doing at the moment.
I'm in Birmingham and I'm rehearsing for my tour that starts on Sunday night at the O2.
Okay, all right. Do you get nervous before a big tour?
Well, I'm just sorting the set list out now, and I've just seen the stage, and I've just seen what the lights look like, and the setup and everything. And I think we're in for a good one. So today, I am not nervous, but I don't know which me is going to turn up on Sunday. Because sometimes I can wake up and go, I'm terrified, and then sometimes I just wake up and go, I can't wait for this. Yeah, I'm never sure which me's going to turn up.
It's a big old tour you're doing. You're here. You're going to Holland. You're going to Belgium, Germany. You're going all the way through to the middle of June next year, and then you've got a little bit of a break, and then you're back for the last couple of months. I think you finish up in Australia. I was lucky enough to see you in Stoke when you were back at Port Vale.
He's not stopped mentioning that.
Which I've mentioned a few times. But my question is, when you do as many dates as you're doing, is it because it's quite a small group of people you got around you? Is it exactly the same, or when you're doing such a big tour, does that get bigger as well?
What the group of people that are around me?
Yeah.
No, it's the same group, same band, dancers, a crew, same everybody. Yeah, we start in O2 on Sunday. We're in the UK for about 5 or 6 weeks, break for Christmas, and then we go into Europe, and then we'll be in South America at some point, and then we'll be in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, there's a long journey in front of us.
Listen, we're going to talk football with you. I know you're a massive football fan. Before I do, I have one question I've got to ask you, because I was Googling you before you came on, because I thought maybe there's a question that people are asking on social media. I don't know if you're aware of it. You're obviously aware that you were on Strictly, although you've got jet lag at the moment from Australia, so you probably weren't. But are you aware of the questions that people are asking on social media surrounding your jacket?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay.
I do like to have a look at Twitter, but I daren't put my name in. And I saw that I was trending, and I was like, I am going to stay away from that. So I've stayed away from that. But thanks for about to inform me.
Okay.
I'm sure you are.
I hope you see. Well, I can see you. People are watching on YouTube can see you. Here we go. The world of social media is undecided as to whether or not your jacket was done up correctly.
Yeah, it's fashion, isn't it? It was done up correctly. It was button crooked, but something did tell me that maybe it looks off when my manager came in and when you might want to sort the buttons out on that suit. And I was like, well, no, this is how it looks. But it's fashion, you know.
Yeah.
Well, why are you saying you have no idea about fashion?
No, why'd you say that? What are you talking about?
It's true.
Look at me. I look amazing today.
Look,
I've got Bexy's boots on.
Rob, I've got to ask you about the record, or the record that you've just broken, overtaking Elvis to become the solo artist with the most number ones in the UK. I mean, first and foremost, how do you feel when you hear that?
It feels like a glitch in the Matrix, and I still feel as though I'm a 16-year-old lad from Stoke-on-Trent that's just fannying about on stage and keeps managing to fall up and forward somehow. So there's been a lot made about it, and every time it's brought up, it feels like it's happening to somebody else. But I'm really grateful that it's happened to me. Yeah, it's just, how do you wear that? How do you wear that you've beaten Elvis to the most number ones in the UK? It doesn't seem right. But that being said, I'm incredibly competitive as well, and now I want 15.
I think you should have a big T-shirt that says "I'm officially better than Elvis Presley." That's what I'd do.
Done.
Let me ask you about some of the music you've chosen on the album, because it's got the ones we would expect: "Angels," "Feel Strong," "Let Me Entertain You," so on. Who chose the lineup on the album? Because there's some great songs that you haven't put on it.
I just went to YouTube and had a look at what my most successful songs are on YouTube, and went, okay, we'll do the top 15.
Oh, okay. You got a Netflix doc coming out, or have they started filming it yet? What's the deal with that?
No, Netflix doc's happening next year, 4-part documentary, hour each show. They start soon. I met with the guy last week. Very nice guy. He also did the Bros documentary, which I absolutely love. Have you seen the Bros documentary?
Do you know what? When I saw that, I didn't think it was real. Honestly, I tell you how much I didn't think it was real. When it finished, I looked for the script writers of it because I honestly thought it was a comedy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. I was always a big Bros fan, and now I'm even more of a Bros fan. I just think that's one of the best documentaries of all time.
Weren't you with one of them at the weekend at Strictly?
I did bump into Matt. I bumped into Matt at Strictly, and I had my pitch taken with him. And yeah, it was lovely to see him.
Let's talk football, shall we? How difficult is it for you, bearing in mind you're all over the world at the moment? How difficult is it? I know you love your football, to keep up to date with what's going on in the world.
It's not difficult at all. I've got some dodgy streams that I can link up to that take me to any game. Of course, they're all official, and I'm paying for them properly. I manage to make sure that I'm up to date with what's going on.
Now, Rob, we know the World Cup's coming up. What do you think England's chances are of winning that?
England have a really good chance at least getting to a semi-final, maybe getting into the final. I think that Gareth Southgate's come under fire just recently, and I think he shouldn't have come under fire. He has been the most successful manager since Sir Alf. And I think that we get carried away in this country with who and what our players are. History shows us that we are perennial underachievers. And I think just because we took the handbrake off for 15 minutes against the Germans doesn't make us Brazil. I think the best way to get to that final is pragmatism. And I think we will. We'll get to the semi-finals, or we get to the finals, we may even win it.
Well, as you said there, Rob, you sound like you're firmly in Gareth Southgate's corner, but there had been a few calls for him, certainly from some of the England fans after the form in the Nations League, that potentially that he shouldn't be the man to lead us to the World Cup. Do you think that's nonsense?
That's absolutely nonsense. It's all about the tournament, and it's all about what we've achieved over the last couple of tournaments. And, you know, as an Englishman, I've been really proud of what the boys have done and what they're doing. We'll be right in that final. We'll be absolutely fine.
Would you give up Angels? That never ever happened. That was never written by you. It didn't get to number one. It wasn't the success. Would you give all that up for England winning the World Cup?
No, because I'd be stacking shelves in Aston.
I like the way you didn't even hesitate. It's like, of course I would. Don't be so stupid.
Not. Yeah.
There was, you told me a story once. I don't know if we can say this on air. I'm looking at my producer. He's going to get nervous. Didn't you do a song? Was it a World Cup launch?
I did a World Cup launch in Russia, and caused an international incident by exposing my middle finger and putting it up to the camera. It was a bit of it caused a bit of an international incident for at least 3 days.
But when you told me this story, wasn't it just because the adrenaline was pumping around your body like never before and you didn't really know what you were doing?
Yeah, that's always what I do. I'm always on a tightrope, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. And I happened to do that at that you know, I'm quite pleased that I put the middle finger up to 2 billion people, but FIFA weren't happy.
No. Of course, I'm sure they weren't. Listen, let me ask you a couple more questions about England. We've been talking about James Maddison. I don't know if you saw any of the game last night, but all season he's been exceptional, and he's still, up to this moment, not been included in Gareth Southgate's or recent squads. He has got one cap for England. Are you a fan of his? Have you seen much of him? Do you have a view on as to whether or not you think he should be in the squad?
Yeah, no, I like Maddison. Yeah, I like Maddison. He scored me a lot of points in Dream Team last season, and he's coming good again. But there's a lot of spots to find for a lot of people. And, you know, if Grealish isn't getting in there regularly, and they can't find a spot for Foden, they can't find a spot for Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, he may be another one of those casualties. Of course, I'd like to see him go because you want to see that type of player at a tournament. But, you know, somebody's got to be left behind. I hope it's not him, but it looks like it probably will be.
Yeah, I hope not either. Bob, I want to take it back to you now. And listen,
Call him Bob.
Yeah, you call him Bob, so I'll call him Bob.
But,
can I do that?
I've earned that.
Bob, can I call you Bob?
Yeah, Benty, you can call me Bob.
So, Bob, listen, you're someone who's toured all over the world. Have you got a favourite venue or stadium that you've played at that you hope to go back there another time and play again?
I tell you what, a bouncing San Siro is very, very special. There's something about Italians all getting together and being mental in the same place at the same time. And I played the San Siro a week after they'd won the World Cup back in the day.
Wow.
And I was just invited. I was invited to their party, and I started a chant of Campione del Mondo, Campione del Mondo, and it just went for about 15 minutes. It was epic. I'll never forget it.
Wow. Is there a football stadium you haven't played at that you'd like to?
No, nothing comes to mind. I played River Plate in Argentina.
That's great.
pretty
Oh,
special.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero health and safety, no crash barriers. It's just that was insane. The energy and vibe, and just seeing 60,000 Argentinians just like the sea moving, and yeah, it was quite incredible.
Talking of quite incredible, I was lucky enough. I've only mentioned it about 1,000 times on air, but I was lucky enough to come with you to Port Vale for that last gig. But the reason I'm bringing that up now is because you and I, along with the rest of your gang, had a tour of that new stadium and the ground itself. And I know, of course, you went to see Port Vale play as a kid, and they were promoted into League One last year. How do you think they'll do? And just tell us a bit about your connection to the club, because I think I'm right in saying that you had some kind of input into one of their kits as well. Is that right?
Well, I kept them afloat one season. They were going to go into administration, and I gave them a bunch of money just to keep them afloat. And there's the Robbie Williams bar that's been done there. I believe that's what the bar's called. They've been doing it up for, no joke, 18 years, and it's finally been finished. But I used to go to the Vale every game because under 14s could get into 50p. So yeah, Port Vale has a very special place in my heart. And this year, I think it's just going to be up and down. They're going to sort of win one, draw one, lose a couple, win one, draw two. That's how it's going to be. But they will survive, and they are onwards and upwards, and they will be in the Championship in the next few years.
Wow. Okay. That must have been quite an emotional gig for you that time.
Yeah, because, I literally lived walking distance from Port Vale, and I love being a Stokey. I love my people. Wherever I go and whatever I do, that's where I feel as though I'm from, and that's where I feel as though that's who I feel I am. So to go home and perform in front of 25,000 people of Stoke's finest felt incredible.
Bob, listen, thank you so much for coming on. What's your day like now? What is it, 5:45? What are you doing for the rest of the day? Are you done now?
I'm done. I was downstairs sorting out the set list. Set list is sorted. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to be saying in between songs, and hopefully I'll get to sleep tonight. I've just been to Australia, and I played the half-time at the AFL final, and that just getting on a plane and going to Australia for 3 days and flying back messes you up. So I'm going to catch up on sleep, think about my gig at the weekend, and watch Liverpool Rangers tonight.
Oh, that'd be good. Go on, give me a prediction for that one before I let you go.
Liverpool Rangers, I think it's either going to be a draw, or I think Rangers are going to win to pile the pressure on Klopp. I don't want that to happen. I want Liverpool to win, but it's the weirdest season all around, and an underperforming Liverpool doesn't feel right to me. Something's going amiss there. Something's gone wrong, and I think it will get even worse tonight.
Okay. Wow. Last question before I let you go. When I told the world you were coming on our show, I got inundated with questions about Take That, because they're they're getting together again and your name's been linked. What's the deal with you and them? Are you going to meet up with them, do any gigs?
No, it's on the horizon somewhere, but I've got, I'm on tour now until at least December next year, so it won't be any time in the next year or the next 18 months. But I love the boys, and there is this universal string that pulls us all together, and I'm sure we will ride again, health permitting.
Okay. Awesome. Robbie, you're a star. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, Rob.
You're a superstar. Well done with, of course, another #1 album. And have a nice evening. Good luck with that sleep. And I'll see you Sunday.
Bless you, lads. Be well.
Cheers, Bob.
Cheers, Bob.
See you.
Talksport Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the Talksport app and on your smart speaker. Talksport.